solution we have to the dangerous problems with the fashion industry and how it affects the environment.
Do any of you go to a uniform school? No? Okay, you're the lucky ones. At our school, we have to wear the uniform every single day, and it sucks. Every once in a while, though, we get to wear our own clothes to school, so that's kind of exciting. And what we notice is that every time we do get to wear our own clothes, everyone always takes great care to make sure no one repeats the same outfit. Everyone always wants to be seen wearing something different. And we kind of observed this, and we started thinking, what happens to the piece of clothing that you wear once you've done wearing it? If you only wear it once or twice, what happens after that? We started looking at the fashion industry and kind of the problem that it creates with the environment. It kind of relies on us to be a sort of disposable culture. It relies on us purchasing items, wearing them really quickly once or twice, and as soon as the trend's gone, we get rid of it.
But behind this problem created by the fashion industry relies a valuable business opportunity. We noticed the need for fashion that is environmentally conscious, and through that, we responded by creating our business, AdVintage Apparel.
Hi, my name is Tiala.
I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Vanessa.
We are AdVintage Clothing. We are a group of 35 people. We're financial advisors, marketing executives, and designers. And we just started 2 months ago, and this is our presentation.
The purpose of AdVintage is to create a sustainable business that provides students with environmentally friendly products.
Our first goal is to connect with businesses within the community.
Our second goal is to execute successful and efficient events.
Our third goal is to create environmental awareness.
And our fourth goal is to provide valuable experiences to strengthen our entrepreneurial skills.
So at AdVintage, we've created our own 3 R's. The first R is redesign. At AdVintage, we take old, outdated items and we think about what we could create of them.
Our second R is revamp. We work with old items and we take old items and work with fashion experts to help recreate them into fashion trends that are popular today.
Our final R, resell. So, within our community, we promote our fashion, design, and our environmental awareness.
We have created a 5-step plan that will help us accomplish our goals and our mission.
Our first step is to gather resources, human capital. So, within our community, we realized that our own Catholic high school, St. Augustine, would be able to provide us with human resources so that we can also establish that we could combine our AdVintage with the Business Council so that we could recruit more students.
Our next goal was to kind of centralize our capital resources. So what we did, we hosted a clothing drive at our school. Students brought in clothing, we kind of all gathered it up. And this did 2 things. One, it gave us the resources that we need to start up our business and start making our own things. 2, it let us kind of get our names out into students' minds. People started wondering, what can we do with their old stuff? And they started getting interested.
We have a team of designers at AdVintage who work with our fashion experts, and what they do is they take the old pieces of clothing and they create sketches of what they can do in terms of creating new items out of them.
The executives would then take their concept sketches and forward them to our consultants and professional designers, Teresa D'Souza and Sandra DiDomenico. This is a little clip of Sandra DiDomenico talking about AdVintage.
Hi there, I'm Sandra DiDomenico, and I'm here at the AdVintage clothing sale today as I've consulted with this St. Augustine Sage team to reinvent some clothing that's used and to recycle them. We spent some time at the kitchen table with a sewing machine, buttons and scrap fabrics and zippers and what have you to sort of reapply onto the clothing. With a design background, I do have the knowledge of how things should look and as far as trends go and still things so I've consulted with them as far as that goes. And now we will carry on to have the sale continue and see what proceeds go towards their new business. Thank you.
Here are a few of our most popular items.
So yeah, we wanted to give you a taste of just about what AdVintage is. We are new, we just started up, but we've done some pretty cool things. This is a really popular item. They're zipper bracelets. So we take zippers off of old items and we create these bracelets. They're really popular because they're kind of cute. And it's also different because what can you do with, some of these zippers are broken, and it's, what can you do with it? You can make them into cute pieces. This is another example of things that we often do. This is a plaid shirt that someone donated. They didn't want to wear it anymore. And we just took another plaid shirt, we cut off some lace, we added some detailing, and it's really simple, it was really fast to do, and it made the item new again. And people bought it. We borrowed it back, but, it's stuff like this. It's really simple. Everything's already been used, so we have very little impact on the environment and negatively. And yeah, it's just cute, and it's kind of inspiring, I guess, for students to kind of see that their old stuff isn't trash. And this is another thing that we made. It was a really big, outdated skirt. Like it was like, we cut it down and we made it into a little summer dress. So yeah, it's really cute. It's kind of it's different, and people are inspired to see their old items being turned into something new. They sometimes ask, what did you do with this? What did you do with that? What did you do with this sweater? And we do stuff with it. Okay, so our third step is to create awareness about our brand. We definitely are target teenagers because we kind of go for the hipster, vintage, indie vibe, which is really popular today. And so the best way to talk to teenagers is over the internet. We know that. So we have a Facebook group and a Twitter account. This is an example of a post that we would make on our Facebook account. We like to be really friendly. We are really community-based, and so we keep them updated and we try to keep a constant dialogue with our fans. So we let them know when we have an upcoming event, and also when we're going to be releasing new things. We received 100 likes in under a month, and we were very happy about that. And so we decided to celebrate with all of our fans.
We also hosted the Come Together Coffee House at St. Augustine. This was a Starbucks-sponsored event, and it was comprised of over 200 audience members and over 20 acts. Many of the acts, performers, as well as both MCs, sported AdVintage clothing and gave a shout out to AdVintage while on stage.
Here are some photos of the performers. It's actually myself. Some of the performers gave shout-outs to AdVintage, and they actually bought some of the clothing items. And a lot of the audience supported the AdVintage, and they came and bought some of the clothing.
Are any of you guys from the East Coast? Yeah? Okay, so this is our friend Molly Thomason. She was our featured performance that night. She's from Nova Scotia and she's living in Toronto now. She's an up-and-coming indie artist, and she heard about our cause and she thought it was great. And so she came out to our coffee house. She was recently nominated in the Nova Scotia Music Awards for 2 awards. And she has like a really indie vibe to her music, and she's definitely becoming really popular. So her coming to our event and buying our clothing and giving us a shout out really had an impact, especially because her music was so inspiring and people were really uplifted by it. And she definitely spoke as to why we have a good cause and why we should be helping out other people. So again, we have a really community focus, and she really helped bring it together.
So, our next step, building roots within our community. By hosting a garage sale within our local neighborhood and putting up posters, we were able to advertise for AdVintage a lot more.
Creating a community relationship is very important to AdVintage, and we did this by writing our own song, which included the 3 R's of AdVintage, and we performed it live for our customers at the garage.
So, the final step, to design and make a survey for students to see the thoughts on AdVintage.
63.5% of people believe that the customer service and relations at AdVintage were conducted very well.
Another 63.5% thought our designs fit really well into modern day fashion.
45% of those people that did the survey, they thought that they were influenced a lot more towards purchasing our items because of the environmentally focused fashion.
And 71.5% believe that an online store would really do us some good and that they'd totally be interested in buying more from it.
In the past 2 months, we've had 3 events, each either bringing in revenue or inventory.
The first event was our clothing drive, and that brought in inventory. Our second event was the Come Together Coffee House, and that brought in $75 in revenue.
The garage sale we had brought in $82 in revenue.
The general sales brought in $48.
So we ended the past 2 months with $205, which we donated all entirely to Kiva. Kiva is a charitable, actually they're not a charitable organization, they're a developmental organization. And what they take our money and they put it into grassroots businesses in developing countries. It usually goes to women. That way they can start their own businesses. And we thought that was a good cause because then from our small business, we're helping other small businesses start.
In the past 2 months, we've spent a lot of time building a strong foundation for AdVintage, and through our postmortem results, we were able to kind of foresee us branching out into an online market.
The online shop would provide us with an opportunity to allow other people to design that are outside of the community, and AdVintage would become a hotspot on the internet.
All right, so since you guys couldn't come to our Come Together Coffee House, we decided to make a Come Together Coffee House to you. So this is a song written by Vanessa, and that we played at the coffee house and that we played throughout our events. That kind of puts together our 3 R's. Within our service, and it is refreshing and it is different, and so I hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Okay, we'll now begin our 7-minute question and answer session.
Yes. First of all, I think it's fantastic that you've taken 2 months to start a company, to get your community involved, and to make this presentation. I think it's commendable what you guys have done.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for letting your own personality shine through in your presentation. What are the next steps? I mean, you've got really good partnerships. The coffee house is great. The community outreach with your garage sale is great. What is the next big thing that you're craving to do?
Okay, so we did some actually great networking, especially at the garage sale, because it had a lot of people just came by just to see what it was about. So we made 2 great partnerships. One was with a company called the UK Designer Sale, and what they do is they import samples from UK designers that aren't being used anymore. And they do this about once a month and they resell them. What happens, but sometimes though, is they receive samples that have cuts out of them. Sometimes they're missing buttons, sometimes someone scribbled on them, and so they can't sell them obviously. So they were saying, well, usually we throw them out, but if you guys would like to scrap fabric, that would be great. And so they get about 100 ruined samples a month. So so they offered them to us, which is great. So now we can definitely expand, and that works perfectly because we're hoping to start up the online website, which will expand our client base. So we're kind of prepared for that. Also, another woman approached us, and she works at a senior home. And what they do is they have a vintage marketplace once a year in the spring to bring people together, but also for them to check out the senior home and make donations on their own accord. And so she said that if you guys would like to set up a booth, I wouldn't charge you, because normally that's how they raise their money. She just really likes our cause and our feel. So those are our next steps: the online store, working with the UK Designer Sale, and the Union Villa Senior Home. Yes.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Staying along. I was wondering if you would add a donation of the clothes aspect to your business.
Actually, we do. We didn't mention that, we should have. But at each of our events where we have things set up, we actually have a big bin that says, like, please drop off. And we usually let people know beforehand, like on our posters, it mentions. So the idea is you bring in stuff, you drop off stuff that you don't want. some stuff we can just resell at the moment of. Like some people brought in really cool shoes that we're just able to put right out. Other times we take the items and we change them up. But that's always an option, and it's definitely helped us.
Are there any?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Are there any students participating in redesigning the clothes?
Yes, actually, one of the great parts of being at St. Augustine is that we got a lot of really artistic students. We're kind of looking to get into OCAD. And so,
Yeah, so the Ontario College of Art and Design, there are a lot of students at our school are into fashion and into design. And so we have right now 3 student designers who are designers, and they consult with our fashion experts. But they're the ones who design the sketches and create the clothes as well.
So the fashion experts are really,
yes,
Yes.
So one of the successes that you mentioned having is the fact that you're on trend right now.
yes.
So knowing that fashion changes, trends change, what are you thinking about with respect to that sustainability standpoint?
Well, for sure, I think the biggest thing in that, and we've thought about that, the biggest thing with that is, you know the clothes that you wear, those things go really fast, but there's some items that we can kind of keep consistent. For example, jeans. I'm not sure if you saw, we bleach denim, and we kind of cut it up and make it frayed because that's kind of the look right now, but we can always not do that. When we get to it, and we can always...
We always have, like, we've developed such great partnerships that we are hoping to keep them, and that we can always have that constant flow of inventory, that we have so much material to work with, and the people we work with are so innovative that they'll be able to keep up with the trends and be able to develop these things.
Some of our items, I should have brought it in today, we make bags too and stuff, and so those things we can kind of suit towards trends as they change. Yes.
Great presentation. I really like the aspect of you guys donating money towards the crowdfunding. And what I would like to know more about is what happens next in terms of like, is this business gonna stick around with St. Augustine? Or like, are you guys, once you guys graduate, what happens next?
Okay, so we're in grade 12. Yeah. Vanessa's in grade 10, so she's definitely gonna have this. I'll be here. She'll be there. But also, we partnered with our business council from the beginning of the year, and our business council's been at our school for 10 years. So they're very established. They have over 100 students, and so they've kind of ensured, because they definitely helped us at the start recruiting people. That's how we got all of our members from the start. And they've kind of ensured that in the following years, including at the end of this year, we're going to be running interviews and stuff, but that they're going to keep people coming because it's definitely appealing to people too. And because we've had such a community focus, people are actually thinking about it, like when they go home. Maybe not all the time, but I'm sure when they're looking through their closet, I'm sure it's not on the ground all the time. But when they're looking through their closet, I have heard people say, hey, do you want this? Hey, what can we do with this? Hey, can I buy something? And so because we kind of had that community feel, and it's definitely changed the environment at our school, especially through the